He said, I wanna see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then? She said, you're a rambling man, and you ain't ever gonna change. You got a gypsy soul to blame, and you were born for leaving. At a truck stop diner just outside of Lincoln. The night is black as the coffee he was drinking, and in the waitress' eyes he sees the same old light is shining, and thinks of Colorado and the girl he left behind him. He said, I wanna see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then? She said, you're a rambling man, you ain't ever gonna change. You got a gypsy soul to blame, and you were born for leaving. Born for leaving.
Here's the trick about ropes. See how it's frozen cold? I can't loop it. See? Now you can move it and lock it and everything. It'll freeze again, but now you can use it to unlock the boat. There we go. A lot better. Alright, so we are I gotta stop saying so every time I start a conversation or start a sentence. I've noticed that. I went back and looked at the videos. So there's this cove, and I'm gonna show you guys on the GPS. It's basically flooded waters, and the water right now is extremely high, so it's one of the times that I can get in there. So it's a really cold day, so it's not normally a day that I would actually go out boating, but I realized this morning this is the first time I actually have a cabin house where I can drive from inside, and days like this are the days where I should be driving and moving because I'm inside anyway, so that's going to take an adjustment. But needless to say, we are headed into this cove because the wind is coming from the north, and my last cove didn't work for that. And it's, from what I see on the charts and coming in here with the dinghy, it's kind of stunning. I mean, it's just beautiful in here. It's got hills on one side, a big island on the other, so it's kind of protected. Yeah, it's gonna be beautiful. Ooh, look at the log in the middle of the water right there. Just missing it. Gotta pay attention. Right there. Alright. I use the way I navigate if I'm going to chart plot, or if I'm checking the weather or the wind or waves, anything that I'm going to do ahead of time. I go to this program called Navionics, and if you see, it actually shows you the depth of everything. Now we are currently right here, and we are headed into, it's called Opossum Creek. This is the bay. Now if we zoom in here, you can see basically it starts to be 3 feet deep right in here on a good day, right? And remember how off it is. And you kind of sneak into the middle and you can get in here with no problem. But you start getting anywhere near the sides and it gets to, obviously less than 3 feet deep. And let's see here, 1 meter. Now, this program can also show you where you've gone, the routes that you want to plan, and weather. So it'll give you the wind directions over the course of 48 hours. So you can actually see how it actually shows you what's going to happen with the wind per hour in your area or what you're doing. And then if you're in Oceanside or like in Lake Michigan, I can actually hit this buoys and connect out to a buoy, and it'll tell me what's happening with that actual buoy at that time, whether it's going up and down in 5-foot waves, 10-foot waves. It does tides and currents, and obviously moon, fog, and weather and everything like that. So there is a free version of Navionics, and you just have to look at commercials when you use it. I pay for it because I don't really like to have any of the commercials happening. But this is what I use to plan my routes. Now I I didn't really understand chart plotting ahead of time before I started actually using it. In fact, when I saw YouTube channels saying, "Oh, we're going to use the chart plotter, this and that," I almost thought it was way too complicated for me to even figure out or for me to use or what have you, but it is not. Basically, it's identical to a GPS, except you load in the parameters you want for your vessel. So if you never want to go in water that's less than 5 feet deep, and if you never want to go anywhere, let's say a half a mile from shore, right? You want to stay a half a mile from shore or more, and you want to be in deeper water than 5 feet. You load that into the chart plotter for the schematics of your boat, and all it does is it does a GPS line for you, and it makes sure to avoid shallow water or whatever you want to avoid. It makes sure to do that, and then identical to a GPS, where you can actually hit there, click on it, and say where's the closest gas station, where's the closest restaurant. All that stuff is on a chart plotter. The other thing I'm going to show you real quick is the GPS mapping and the depth meter on the boat that I have. I have one of those as well. So that's going to come up in the video in a minute, and then I'm going to break in and do one of those for that as well. Look at this. See what I'm talking about? Look how gorgeous this little bay is. You just normally can't get in here. I want you guys to see this. See how it shows me which side is getting deep? And how deep it is, obviously, too, but which side is getting deep underground, so I can kind of go through and pick my areas to go. It's kind of cool. So you see how it's telling me where it is, where the little inlet is? Yeah. So, alright, so this is actually way cooler than I even ever thought. Essentially, it is sending out a beam that's actually reading the bottom of the water, and it reads 60 feet total. So 30 feet in one direction, 30 feet in another direction, up to 60 feet down as well. It can actually say it's 190 feet deep, but when it's looking for actual obstructions in fish, it's doing that circle, a 60-foot circle, okay? And if I drive up to... If I'm driving along a shore, it actually is sending a beam out to the shore, and it's running a line down to show me where the shore is, and it actually has a number showing how high that shoreline is within that 60 feet. So if it's showing a line coming in and there's a number right above it that says 2 feet, that means above that line, 20 feet that way, the water's 2 feet. And what it's showing is actually a channel for me to sneak in to this little area. Look at these two pictures and I'll see. Yeah, I'll put them up while I'm talking here. So essentially it's like it is an underwater sonar system. And then the other thing is, if you're looking for fish, you can actually click it and it will indicate where the schools of fish are the same way, just by putting dots on the chart too, in between where the land is. So it's like sticking your head underwater and being able to see 60 feet in every direction. It's pretty cool. One of these days I'll make my bed before I do a video, but probably not. Alright, so we're going to pull in here behind the cypress tree. Okay, so I've never landed here before, so my engine is already in neutral, even though it's on in case I need something for an emergency. So we'll see how this beach is. It's definitely a tree down right over there. One of these times I will pull up and there will be a tree that I just go goom, goom, goom. I'm 20 feet from the shore before I even hit the shore. Alright, I might have to... We'll see how this goes. It's probably mud. We'll stake. We'll be good. Hold on, River. Hold on. Alright. So that's done.
I don't need rain, Lord, the sun sure stings.
somebody string a rattlesnake up. Good Lord, my whole world ran dry. The day that wicked old witch said bye, she put a curse on me. One on the river, now my crop won't grow no more. I got a hollow heart, a pocket full of nothing. My soul won't rest and my eyes won't pour. Let the rain come down. I should have been long gone cold turkey, yet I'm sitting on the front porch stone. Looking back now, the past was murky. It ain't no wonder why my money's all gone. She put a curse on me. One on the river, now my crops won't grow no more. I got a hollow heart, a pocket full of nothing. My soul won't rest and my eyes won't pour. Let the rain come down. Let the rain come down.
Not that big of an island, huh? But it's got a lot of trees on it, though. River. Bad dog. You need to listen. Come here. No, now you gotta sit. You didn't listen. Hey, come here. Sit down. River. Stay. Stay. Yeah, you gotta, even if you don't have your collar on, you gotta listen, buddy. All right, go ahead. Go play. He's funny. Dog. He sometimes, you know, if he has a training collar where you can vibrate it and beep it, and if he starts chasing after an animal or something, you could shock it if you need to. Oh, cypress roots. You could shock it if you needed to, but he knows whether it's on or not, and then he also knows if I'm giggling or laughing at something he's doing, he ignores me as well. So it's kind of, you just gotta let him know. You gotta come no matter what. Anyways, this is a beautiful island. It's a little open to the main river here. So if a wind started coming from the south, it would suck. But right now the wind's coming from the north, so it's peaceful in here. And look at what's blocking. Look at how nice that's blocking the wind. So that's a nice little area. I'm gonna go further in, and then we're gonna go for a little bit more of a boat ride. So basically, I feel like it's gonna be a boat ride day. I have never had a cabin on my boat where I can just drive and look out the windows even though it's cold, and this is making me excited. It's pretty cool. There's a couple times now that I've slept just with the anchor down like this, where I'm in the middle of the bay. A lot of people ask me how I'm comfortable doing this and not afraid that I'm going to wake up and the boat's going to actually like go off a waterfall or get hit by a barge or something, because it's connected to just one rope and it's just one anchor, and what happens if it goes away? There's two ways to deal with this, and you should use both. So right now I have a program called Anchor Lite, and it's really Anchor and then LITE, and it's free. Basically, it takes your GPS coordinates, and this is a very generic, simple version of it, but locks your boat in. So you set a parameter that if your boat goes outside of a circle, an alarm goes off. If your anchor drags, your alarm would go off. Now, to get more complicated, remember how I was talking about some anchors, if you go out of a certain half a circle, they'll drag just because of the way, if the wind changes? You can actually set it for your little half circle. So if you go on 30 degrees this way or 30 degrees that way, if you go outside of that, the alarm will go off. So you have something basically monitoring what's going on with your boat, and it'll wake you up if you need to be woken up. The other thing is, when people wake up in the middle of the night and they remember they're on their boat, they kind of want to jump out of bed and look at the anchor and line and everything and make sure that they're safe, and they wonder if they woke up because they missed a thump or whatever. What I do, completely was suggested to me, is you focus on something outside the window ahead of time. You know what it is, so when you wake up, if you see it again, you know your boat's in the same position. So here, when I was on anchor last night, I watched the a tree right outside my window. But if I'm in Milwaukee, it's always this one building that I'm looking at, and I always see this side of the building when I'm on one mooring, and that side of the building when I'm on another side of the mooring. So it's something that I can actually wake up, look at, comfortable, go right back to bed without having to worry about anything. So, and that a lot of sailors use that. A lot of people who sleep on boats use that and don't even know anything about the anchor late program. So, cold day. One, two, three, 4 barges. And it's 3 wide, so there's 12 barges on this boat. Look how long it is. It's like a moving train. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barges. Yeah, let's look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th. And again, it's 3 wide, so it's 15 barges this guy's pushing down the river. And the people who work on these barges are 2-week shifts. You're on 2 weeks on, you're 2 weeks off. Look at it. Gosh. It's a beast. Just a beast. Now that wave right there is what I'm worried about. What happens when that wave gets to me? So I'm already feeling waves. This is going to be very interesting. I don't know if I'm even going to record it. I might just get in the steering wheel and turn into the waves because I don't want to take them broadside. I have another 10 minutes before they get here to figure it out, so. Look at that. Actually, I'm just going to run away from the waves. Since I'm in this little river, I'm going to head up it. Too cold to test that stuff today. Look at this. Look at that. We're at 12 feet deep, so I bet you that's only a couple feet deep. Look at that. Oh, look at all the branches coming out of the water, though. Coming into Eagle Creek Island now. It doesn't get old. Alright, so look at the bay here. You couldn't see that when I was coming in. You see how close that is? That would have. It's a metal filing cabinet. Oh wait, no, it's plastic. All right, the motor would have killed that. If it was metal, that would have destroyed a motor. But River got to go on another island. This is his 3rd island of the day. Spoiled brat. Lots of adventure. Okay. Alright, yeah, 38 feet. And you see how it shows the actual buoys going into the marina, and that even though you shouldn't go in there and you should go in here. That's the kind of thing that people, I'm sure, are worried about. But once you get a navigation system, it starts, you just look at it and it takes care of that kind of thing. So essentially it tells you where to go. It also tracks where you've been with the GPS points too. Notice I'm not at my cruising speed, and depending on the wind, it jumps around up to 4 miles an hour down to 1 mile an hour in the current. It's kind of interesting. Never goes more than 5 or 6 miles an hour unless I'm going downriver with the wind.
Say blind your sleep. Sleep it come, but no, it don't come cheap. You're loving, dying, and I fall from grave. Read the lies upon my face. When you're coming down, remember to breathe.
So we're back at the dock. And everything has got this 1/4 inch of ice on it, except for underneath the roof. Whoa, I almost fell. Okay. Now, this incline up here is probably the deadliest thing I've ever done. Watch this. Good morning! Look at this. It's so crazy. This is by far the most dangerous thing I've ever done. Holy shit. Even the handrail, even if I fell, the handrail is icy. It's so funny. So, the one thing that is different is everywhere I've stayed in the last few years is, unless I'm in Milwaukee on the sailboat, is 45 minutes to an hour to the nearest little town. It's always beautiful. Like the boat ride to the marina was beautiful. Look at these little barns. It's a beautiful drive, but it is, you wouldn't want to forget the salt or forget to get butter or something like that, Or if you did forget it, you're just going to not have it for the next week or so. This house, I think, is the best design, and the coolest people live here too. It's a little house in the middle, and then a 3-sided huge porch all the way around. So cool. And then look at this. This gives you a perspective. This is the guest house for people to come visit, right? And then this is the main house right here. And the view of their main house is the marina, is our boats. So they have they're spent $1 million to look at where I'm parked for $90 a month. The other thing is, while we're in here, look what everyone thinks River's so cute and everything. Look what Mr. Aggressive lady walks by the front of the truck at the store, and he breaks the window, attacking the windshield. Now, I'm gonna notice how everything looks nice right here. I'm gonna show you what happens when I come back from the store. This mirror is gonna be upside down, and the sunglass thing will be open because he attacks the dashboard when people walk by. I've gotten more comments from people saying, if your dog ever got out, we'd have to shoot him, or being completely afraid of River until they actually meet him. I've gotten more comments about that than any other dog I've ever had. I don't go a week without someone telling me they're scared to death of my dog. It's so crazy. But he puts off a really big show when he's defending the truck, the RV, the boats, any of that stuff. He's pretty aggressive.
Why'd you do that? Huh? Are you naughty? You're a naughty dog. You're a bad dog.
On the contrary, the operations told me that they haven't had visitors in nearly 6 months.
Is it really a matriarchal society? The women make all the decisions?
Until recently, but in the last decade, the polygamy laws have made great strides.